Have you ever felt that people come to you only when they need something? Have you ever canceled your own plans, your rest, your sleep, or your peace just to help someone who forgets you the moment they are done? If you have felt this, then this story is for you. Because sometimes life teaches us the hardest lesson through the people we care about. Once in a peaceful little town, surrounded by long green fields and calm old houses, there lived a man named Daniel. Everyone in the town knew him well. If someone's bicycle chain broke, they shouted for Daniel. If someone needed help carrying boxes, they knocked on Daniel's door. If a lonely person needed someone to talk to, they went straight to Daniel's house. He never said no. He always smiled and said, "Of course I'll help." He believed that helping others made him a better person, and people praised him for his kindness. But slowly, without realizing it, Daniel's life stopped belonging to him. His garden remained half-cleaned. His windows were broken. His roof needed repairs. His own problems were piling up, but instead of fixing them, he was out in the town fixing everything for everyone else. Every night he came home covered in dirt and sweat. His mother looked at him with tired eyes and said, "Daniel, my dear boy, you help everyone. But why does no one ever help you?" Daniel always gave the same small smile and replied, "It's all right, Mom. One day people will remember my kindness." But that day never came. One evening, the sky turned dark and heavy winds started blowing. The townspeople rushed to protect their gardens and belongings before the storm came. Daniel also ran out, but not to save his own things. He went straight to help his friend Oliver, whose tools and equipment were still lying outside. They worked fast, covering everything with cloths and moving things into the shed. But Daniel's own garden furniture was still outside, his plants still uncovered, and his wooden boxes were still open. And then the storm hit. Rain poured heavily. The wind whipped through the town. By the time Daniel reached home, almost everything in his garden was ruined. He sat on the front steps, rain dripping from his face, staring at the muddy mess that used to be his peaceful garden. His mother placed a warm towel on his shoulder and said quietly, "Daniel, today you saved everyone's things except your own." Daniel didn't reply, but inside him something finally broke. The next morning, tired and confused, he walked to the edge of the town to meet old Mr. Harris, a wise retired teacher who lived in a small cottage near the river. Daniel sat down beside him and said, "Sir, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I help everyone, but I feel empty. I feel tired, not from work, but from people. Why does it feel like kindness is breaking me?" Mr. Harris watched the river move slowly and said, "Daniel, look at this river. It gives water to trees, to birds, to animals, to farms. But when it rains too much and the river forgets its path, what happens?" Daniel thought for a moment and said, "It floods. It destroys everything." "Exactly," Mr. Harris said. "Kindness without boundaries becomes self-destruction. You are kind, Daniel, but you have no limits. You run everywhere for everyone, but nowhere for yourself. You think saying no is wrong, but sometimes saying no is the most honest form of self-care." Daniel listened carefully as Mr. Harris continued. "For the next 7 days, don't say yes immediately. Yes. When someone asks for help, pause and ask yourself, will helping them harm me? Will I lose time, peace, or energy I need for myself? If yes, then say, not today. Try this, Daniel. You will see what happens." The next morning felt different. Around noon, Oliver rushed to Daniel and said, "Daniel, please help me move a heavy box. I need you." Daniel looked at his own broken fence that had needed repair for months. His heart wanted to say yes, but he remembered Mr. Harris's words. He breathed in slowly and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Today I need to fix my own fence. I can help you later, but not today." Oliver stared at him in shock. "You're saying no? You never say no?" Daniel nodded quietly. Oliver left looking upset. and Daniel felt a little guilty, but he stayed focused. Within a few hours, the fence that had been broken for months finally stood strong again. For the first time in a long time, Daniel felt a small sense of pride in taking care of his own life. The next day, 2 neighbors came for small favors: help with carrying shopping bags, help fixing a chair. But Daniel politely refused and explained he was busy with his own work. That evening, instead of feeling tired and used, he felt light and calm. A quiet peace filled his heart. On the 4th day, the sky turned gray again, and another round of heavy rain poured down. This time, Daniel's roof started leaking. He looked outside, waiting for someone to knock on his door like he always knocked on theirs, but no one came. Not a single person. He could have been angry, but instead he felt something new: strength. He picked up tools and fixed the roof himself. It took time. It took patience. But when he finished, he sat under his repaired roof and whispered to himself, "So this is what it feels like to depend on myself." Days turned into weeks, and slowly Daniel became a different man. He stopped running everywhere. The moment someone called his name, he stopped sacrificing his sleep and his peace for people who never cared. He began waking up early to take care of his garden. He cleaned his house. He invested time in himself, and something unexpected happened. People started respecting him more. Oliver began solving his own issues instead of depending on Daniel. Neighbors stopped calling for every little thing. The town was still friendly, but people no longer treated Daniel like a tool they could use any time. Daniel's house looked better. His garden grew beautifully. His face looked fresher. And for the first time in years, he laughed without feeling tired. He was no longer the man who was always available for everyone. He was the man who valued himself. One afternoon, Mr. Harris visited Daniel. He looked at the healthy plants, the neat yard, and the peaceful smile on Daniel's face. He asked softly, "So, Daniel, did the world fall apart when you stopped saying yes to everyone?" Daniel smiled and said, "No, sir. In fact, my world finally started coming together." Mr. Harris nodded with a gentle smile and said, "When you stopped saying yes to everyone, you finally said yes to yourself. And that is when life begins to change." So, my friend, are you like Daniel? Do you give too much? Do you say yes even when it hurts? Remember this saying: no does not make you selfish. It makes you strong. It means you are choosing peace, not pressure. Your time, your mind, and your heart are precious. Protect them, because the world will respect you only when you start respecting yourself.